Hello, and welcome to the 19th BOH Cameronian Arts Awards on set. My name is Miriam, and I will be the moderator for this session. Joining us today are Dominic and Scott, representatives for the nomination for Best Original Book in Musical Theatre. So, let's get right to it. In one line, how would you describe your play?
Over to me, is it?
Yeah.
Chilling, scary, fun, excitement, really. Just, yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
That's pretty much, it's just all those elements, that's what drove the whole production was, you know, to venture into the spooky world, the Halloween world, the macabre, as it were, and to but to have fun with that. The idea was not to scare people. The idea was to play with those characters, your Draculas, your Frankensteins, Werewolf Man, but do it in a fun way. And obviously comical. It's very comical, the show. So it was to explore that. And these characters have been around, you know, eons, generations and generations. So everybody knows Dracula and everybody. So it's just trying to find a new angle and trying to make it fun. And that's the main thing, you know, trying to make it fun and not, you know, making fun of the scariness.
Yeah.
You know, trying to put that into a comedic line for the audience.
Nice. I'm going to come back to that. But Dominic, please describe the play.
Okay, so a handmade tale. It's a musical about chickens. So there's, you know, when it comes to chickens, there's always fun. And each chicken will have different personalities. But ultimately, it's about a sense of adventure, about these chickens wanting to just go out there, have fun, see the world. Eventually, they see KLCC, and that's where they go to. We don't know what happens after that. But, you know, it's just creating this sense of adventure and wanting to go out of where you are right now in life.
What inspired?
Well, this musical is based on a book written by Lim Sun Heng, A Handmaid's Tale. So the book, you know, it's a children's book. So it's the story is simple, lots of pictures, easy for children to read, but ultimately it was made into an hour-long musical. So the story was expanded, characters were layered, the chickens had backstories. Each chicken wanted different things in life, but all of them just wanted to go out. They wanted the rooster to not make any noise that morning and wake anyone up so that the humans would not know what the chickens are up to. So, you know, there's this sense of mischief. It's what inspired it, I think, is just this wonderful story that Lim Sun Heng wrote about chickens, just to give us this perspective of life that, you know, even chickens want to have fun. So why not humans?
They become like urban chickens in the city.
Exactly, but how urban, we don't know.
Ooh.
That's the biggest danger of being in the city is you're going to be lunch on every corner for those chickens.
Well, that's why the book
right?
ends right when
Why
they
did the
arrive.
chicken cross the road, guys?
Exactly, there it is. It's there. That should have been your log line, your tagline.
Yeah, but we ended right before that, so it's a children's musical.
Like 2.0, maybe. You know, make it for the adults. You know? Now that you've grown into teenagers, let's give you the reality of life. How is it like making a musical theatre for children, but you know, finding it a space for both kids and adults to enjoy?
I think adults are children at heart. I mean, we enjoy stories like that. I think that's why Disney appeals to us no matter what age we are. And I think adults come in watching children's musical expecting to just accompany the children and go like, okay, just watch it, I'm here for you. But they enjoy it as much as the children, sometimes a bit more than the children do. And I think that's how magical musical theatre can be for adults and children. As long as the story makes sense and, you know, there's magic in the story, adults will just enjoy it and, you know, be sucked into that whole world. Yeah.
And was that a similar?
Yeah, I mean, I think Dom's right. I think, you know, theatre in general, why we go to theatre is for escapism. Whether you're an adult, whether you're a child, you want that adventure. And whether the tale is a heavy tale, whether it's Les Miserables or Miss Saigon, it's still a tale, it's still escapism, even though it's a more adult theme. And then, of course, you do have lots of adults that do want that nostalgia of their childhood. Sometimes they want to bring that back. So So yeah, like Dom says, Disney caters for everybody, doesn't it? It tries to put in those adult jokes that go over the children's head and that, and then caters for the kids, and that's certainly what I was looking to do with Spooks. Was there's a few one-liners in there that were straight over the kids, but it's good for the adults. They're like, oh yeah, okay. we know, and that's what you want. You want to please both audiences there, and but keep the fantasy, and that's the main thing. You keep that childhood spirit, that fantasy within it, because we all want to wind back the clock. And feel that we used to, that's the power of theatre, and the medium, certainly within musicals. Musicals, plays are a little bit different. Plays, you can have dramatic plays and that, and it's not going to be as enjoyable for a child. But musicals are, they're designed to be big. They're designed to be explosive, within their music and their visuals and the dancing and the singing,
I think Nick Chu as well, when he wrote Handmaid's Tale, and I'm sure for Spooks as well, one of the things that he did say to me was when he writes children's musicals, he doesn't water down the language. He doesn't try and simplify it. He makes it something that even children can understand, but adults also can appreciate, right? So he's not going to simplify the words and the meanings just because it's a children's play.
Yeah, Nick's very good at keeping it generic for all audiences, and with Spooks, I wouldn't say it was aimed for children, but it was certainly aimed because it being set in a monster realm high school, Transylvania High. It's still the youth, so a teenage youth, and then some adults there, and we wanted pop music. I said I want it to be pop music, for the kids, and to attract them, but add accents of the Gothic and organ pipes, all those Gothic type accents, but keep the music current, keep it contemporary, keep it pop, and keep it fun. There's a bit of rap in there, and even the ballads are very modernised, but again, just got undertones of that chilling, sort of spooky elements.
Which we're used to, and which
and they're the chords of those are what we hear when we see a Dracula movie or Frankenstein, but you just hear them in a pop song, and it just gives a different dynamic. And I think Nick's very good at that, and we were certainly on the same page at the very beginning, because he said, but you can get caught into just it being too Gothic, and then it brings it down. So he was very good at, reeling me in, because I am a bit of a Halloween fan. So I would be like, let's have it all dark. And he's like, no, you've got to lighten it up, Scott, and then put a few layers in.
He's good at finding that balance, right?
And he is, he's very good at that. And that's why I think he's riding his hooks in his melodies, and that are very good. And they, really key into your audience and the feel of what the musical's meant to be. With this musical, with previous musicals I've worked him on, and I'm sure with a children's musical, he can sort of jump from one to the other,
Spooks in particular had an alternative ending.
Yeah.
Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. It's well, it actually come to I'm writing the musical, and I'm like, right, this is how it's going to end. We're going to have a big dragon, big effects. Dragon comes out, and and then it's going to end that way. And then I was like, dragon's more mythical. It's not really spooky, Something spooky is a giant spider, so maybe I'll have that. I kind of like the dragon, but I kept sort of going between. And then there was another character, Countess Estrella, a Egyptian vampire, that her story arc was kind of left open because I felt that she wouldn't make amends with the lead character. But then the rules of storytelling is, everyone kind of has to have that arc and come around. And I was all, why don't I just do both? And that's really how it come about. I was just like, actually, this would be kind of something different, to look at. Come to see a musical, and then the second time you come to see it, you're expecting the dragon to pop out, and the spider pops out from the bottom. but also this other character comes in and saves the day. And hang on, she didn't save the day last time. She kind of said goodbye and she was off.
Yeah.
And she has a song as well. So it's very, there are lots of differences. And then I'll just say, to people, you pick your ending, which one do you like? Obviously for a producer, it's a PR.
Yeah. Oh yes.
It's a great gimmick.
If you come on this day.
Yeah, they love that. Yes. So I didn't have any problem selling that idea to the producer. But yeah, I just thought it'd be more fun, and it did create debate. A lot of them went, I don't know, I really like the dragon, but I do like the fact that Estrella comes back, and some. So yeah, it was just something different, something I had not seen before done, at least in a musical.
No.
And so,
yeah.
And I always like to change it up, challenge.
But any thoughts about, because even though it was based on an already written book, and this is going slowly into as a director, were there points in this production or previous productions where you felt, I don't quite know if this ending works? And
the book itself was really simple. And then translating that into a stage musical was a really interesting process, because I think Nick and the author and me as the director, we were all involved in trying to find how to expand that story, to give the characters more life. And then in that process, I think it's when you discover what people might like to see. The chicken that is, thinks she's beautiful and she's the best looking chicken and everyone should admire her beauty. And there's the chicken or the hen, they're actually all hens.
Yeah.
The hen who's like, no one loves me, I'm just, this useless little hen. No one appreciates my ideas. And then you have there are also cats on the farm, which were not in the book, but was added into the musical.
Okay.
So the cats kind of give this sense of mischief and plant ideas to the hens, like, why don't you try doing something like this? And the hens go, innocent hens suddenly like getting this idea from the naughty cats.
Yeah.
So all that leads to how the hens just end up in KLCC. And I think that was a really interesting ending, because we don't know exactly how they get there or when they get there or what happens, but it's an ending that everyone knows, the chickens made it out of the farm.
Yes.
Yay!
Yeah,
and then boom.
And then boom.
Had you done a children's musical before?
Yeah, I've been in one. I've never directed one. That was my first time directing.
So this was your first time? Though?
Yes.
Okay. And how did you find that, the difference between doing the children to a more adult sort of theme?
I think it was necessary for me to just keep asking the right questions when I put the show together. How would the children see it? How would the adults see it? Asking the actors how they felt telling this story. And all of them have different experiences, everyone in the team working with children in different capacities. So I think just getting their thoughts and their feedback, what they thought would work, all of us putting that together, I think it helped a lot.
If you could play yourself in theater, what would the story be about, and what is the title?
I don't know, for me it would involve something mystical, something to do with space, cosmic, this kind of cosmic vibe.
Okay.
I don't know what the story would be exactly. It would be just a sense of exploration,
okay.
going into the unknown.
Yeah.
You should write something.
How about a title? How about a title?
What's your title?
Cosmic Unknowns.
I don't know, domination.
Oh, yes! Down.
There you go.
Down with it. Like capital Dom?
Yeah.
In Nation.
See?
Yeah.
You designed a poster for me.
Done. Wonderful. Just like, we love that.
I don't think I've got a good pun like that, no. I think mine were, generally I always write stuff where it's character driven, so it's more about the character, and then the story is what it is, but it's more the character. So I think the title would probably be Scott Lost the Plot.
Oh, nice.
That's great.
And it would be about him trying to find his meaning and the plot in life, I think, which is a current theme generally in my life. So yeah, something along them lines.
Yeah. Would it be like, do you envision it to be like a one-man theater piece, or
it depends on the budget they give me.
It's always a budget.
Yeah, it's always a budget. No, not really. No, I think more characters because you get to write more fun characters, more interactions, a lot better. But yeah, something like that. It's generally I deal with the surreal, something absurd and surreal is my kind of thing. So
lovely.
Something along those lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I love it.
Scott Lost the Plot and Domination. Coming to you soon. Thank you very much. Thank you.